Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Pop, pop, bang. Oh! Oh my god! Oh! 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 Bang. Oh! Oh my god!
Lowdown, and this is the story of Team Secret. Victory by any means necessary. Lowdown, action that not all athletes can aspire to, but there are some willing to take the risks and make the sacrifices needed to achieve it. One team that has lived by these words is Team Secret. But there are some originally formed by the players themselves to capture the international needed to achieve it. Rules of the organization that has lived by these words: no laws, no masters, only formed by the players themselves. Highly skilled and highly sought-after players leaving their safe and financially stable organizations behind to build a team of their own, to play with only those they consider to be the best. Team Secret's doors have always been open to those who are willing to leave their lives behind in order to win, and have had many players in the past win through. Team Secret's doors have always been open to those who are willing to leave their lives behind in order to win. Either you win or you get out, and Team Secret has always known how to win. In a typical Dota 2 squad, resources are allocated to the strongest players on the team, leaving supports mostly with the scraps. But not on Team Secret. Every single player on the team has the ability to be the one who single-handedly wins them the game. There is no one player to focus your fire on when you're playing against Team Secret, because every single one of them is a star player. And even their Position 5 supports have snowballed so hard in the past, they have themselves become unstoppable. Secret's style of play is hard to predict, easy to underestimate, but devastating to play against. The fact that any one of their players could be the star of the match is what sets them apart from all the other teams. Puppy is the captain of Team Secret, its creator and sole remaining founding member. Winner of the first TI 7 years ago, Puppy has remained one of the greatest minds in Dota 2, able to move with the times. Puppy's keen eye for talent has ensured that Team Secret have always stayed fresh, recognizing the diamonds in the rough and polishing those players' skills to allow them to compete at the highest level of play. One of the greatest captains in the history of Dota 2, Puppy may be one of the veterans of the scene, but he has always had an ace up his sleeve. Of course, now it's time to talk about Ace. Ace is the newest member of Team Secret. His career up until Secret had been rather unremarkable, but under Puppy's wing, Ace has grown into a fearsome competitor. Ace's superpower seems to be the uncanny talent of winning nearly unwinnable games, be it from excellent executions and fights or by split pushing and pressuring buildings off of his lone druid. Ace is already one of Europe's best, and his composure in the face of defeat has allowed Secret to win games that they have had no business winning. It's always easy to remember who Secret Mid is because it's literally his name. Mid1's name stems from his ability to settle disputes with other players by taking them down 1v1 mid. These constant honor duels molded him into one of the greatest pub players in Southeast Asia. Mid1's fame grew as his list of defeated rivals increased. Team Secret, answering Puppy's call to become the world-class mid player that he was always destined to be. The role of support is typically played to help other players win and to be a backseat to their success. But time and time again, Team Secret's Yapzor is the player that opens and closes the show. Yapzor may be new, but he is a prodigy in the scene, and Secret are willing to give him all the resources he needs to truly shine. Known for his insane Rubik, Zeus, and Earthshaker plays, Yapzor is a pioneer in aggression, an ultra-high game impact support player that is the envy of every other support player in Dota. Yapzor does not imitate, he innovates, and in no other professional team will you see a support lead in the gold and kill charts quite like Yapzor. The final key piece in Team Secret's arsenal is Fada, a former mid player who decided it was high time the offlane became his new playground. Just as hungry for kills and action as he was in the mid lane, Fada is ruthless. And the ease at which he mastered his new position? That's truly frightening. Dependable and ferocious, Fada dominates his lane. And when he does, ain't nobody getting fatter than the Fada. And that, in short, is Team Secret. A mix of seasoned veterans with dazzling new talent. A team that is willing to take risks and do whatever it takes to win. Victory, at any cost, may be happening this year at the International 8.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Vanish. Haste.
The next label play. The next label play. The next label play. The next label play.
The prize is mine.
Coin for me.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Roshan has fallen to the dark.
Invisibility.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack. Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
Unstoppable. Wicked silver kill.
Bullseye.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
The next label play. The next label play. The next label play. The next label play.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Evangelizing for my cause. Hijos homos.
My life's pattern reworked on the vibe.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen. Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
Vanish!
Radiant's top shrine is under attack. Radiant's top shrine has fallen.
The prize is mine.
A golden thread. Coin for me. Our fates were woven from the first.
The next label play.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Monster kill!
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Allies disappear.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Yeah, Jax, I get it too. It was bad.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Die young and leave a purulent
Radiant's
corpse.
bottom barracks has fallen. The Dire now have mega creeps. Dire victory!
The next label play. The next label play.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for day 2 of the International 8 to commence. For once, we've migrated away from the Key Arena and the signature Seattle location and find ourselves in Vancouver for the International 8. 8 of these tournaments as they only get bigger, better, and absolutely crazier. And
Team Secrets turn to ban. Virtus Pros turn to ban. Team Secrets turn to ban.
And then afterwards, both of these teams were losing a match to Serenity. And everybody that, you know, picks Serenity as one of those up-and-comers, good for you.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, that means Secret are now 1-3 in the group stage. And now they're coming into the Juggernaut. One of considered like the top 2 teams, honestly, at TI. You know, you put Liquid and Virtus Pro right next to one another. I think deservedly so. I
mean, LGD might have some words with you. But
10 seconds
those
remaining.
3 definitely. And I think that my thought with VP always
5
is
seconds remaining.
On any given day, they could be the best team in the world. And
Virtus Pros
if they play
turn
the best,
to
they're
pick.
not gonna lose. The problem is sometimes they don't play the
Team
best. Sometimes they get a little
Secrets
bit too
turn
ahead.
to pick.
You know, it happens to the best of us. You know, we fall back into those old habits. But Virtus Pro have shown quite a few different things in their openers so far this tournament. A lot of it was the silencer. They got that in 2 of their 4 games. That's going to be banned out this time, as it has been banned out in the first phase for most of the matches we've been casting. I feel like silencer just getting shut out. No, thank you. And they're going to go for this tiny
10
first pick
seconds
overall.
remaining.
Nice flexible core, or possibly sport hero.
Yeah, I think
5
that,
seconds remaining.
I think I've seen it more often than not in the mid lane now. Leading up to this event, it was most notably played by Fnatic, who are playing it in the off lane. But I like the pick because it also sort of deals with some of the other cheese just inherently out of the first round. Like, you don't want to run a Broodmother into this. They tried it yesterday on Liquid and they got completely destroyed.
Team
so
Secrets turn to pick.
We're going to have the second pick now coming out in the Vengeful Spirit. It's a hero we love.
Yeah, always happy to see this one. Something that Secret have used for quite a long time. Pretty iconic puppy hero, but also something that Ace is familiar enough
Virtus
to play.
Pros turn to
Weaver available there. However, I think we're assuming it'll be for puppy. And going with this pairing, we've seen it several times. The Vengeful Spirit and the Weaver, some heavy physical damage, and just 2 really strong laners.
Yeah. So we're talking about this. It's like, leading up to TI this year, it was one of the longest breaks that we've had in between the competitive season and the start of the international. And so
10 seconds remaining.
We didn't get to see a lot of these, except if you're talking about some of these like tier 2 tournaments
5
that were happening in
seconds
the
remaining.
interim, right? So we saw a couple of these like lanes. Do you want to just talk about why this is so strong, the Venge Weaver?
I mean, for example, Vengeful Spirit went completely unpicked or banned at the summit.
Right.
She was a complete non-factor hero, and now suddenly she's showing up in several of our games at TI. So there's been a lot of evolution since the previous matches at like that top of the pro scene. But in this case, there's just a lot of physical damage. And I don't know if you know, but Tiny, this guy, he actually has 0 armor. So it turns out that it's pretty handy for those first levels before his ultimate to have some serious physical damage and minus armor up against the guy. Now, will they be in lane against him? Maybe not, but even throughout the game, he is someone you can kind of target down.
Virtus Pros turn to back.
Oh my goodness, Virtus Pro going crazy. It's a second pick Broodmother.
So they've done this already.
Team Secrets turn to ban.
If you are going to first phase a Brood, like, so this is what happens. They play against Optic, they first phase Brood. They take it just like this. They go 1, and then the 4th pick, they take the Broodmother. They win that game. So what happens the next 2 games? Everyone starts first phase banning the Brood. So you come into this match, Secret doesn't ban your Brood, you guys say, you respect me. You gotta respect us and ban this Brood, or we're gonna take it first phase until we lose with it. So Secret
10
needs to be the one to
seconds
stop
remaining.
this trend, or it's gonna be a very sticky TI.
That sounds, oh god.
5 seconds
Can you imagine
remaining.
if you just have to first phase Brood? Like, that has to feel the worst thing possible. So Team Secret need to come up with an answer, and maybe this is one of the downsides too to having this Venge Weaver combo, is that it's very strong in a lane when it's a normal game,
Virtus
but Brood makes it not
Pros
a normal
turn
game.
to ban.
It's just a complete and total shift.
Yeah, Brood is, well, Brood. So, I mean, what can you say, right? They're going to get rid of some annoying support heroes now that it's like we've got both cores picked out here from Virtus Pro. Taking care of that Dark Willow, someone who can actually try and control up a Weaver. You know, you have that giant AoE from the Terrorize.
Team Secrets turn to ban.
And then when he's feared up like that, it just doesn't allow you to make any of your plays with Shikuchi or time-lapse, and suddenly you die.
Not a good time, for sure. Meepo also banned out Team Secret. Potentially could have ran that. Ace is obviously a very proficient player on that hero.
Are you suggesting it's his ace in the hole?
Hey, you did it. You did the thing.
I try, you know.
Well, that's great.
Gotta bring out the big guns.
10 seconds remaining.
You know, VP Secret. Clearly.
You know, one thing I will say about the Broodmother
5
is sort of a
seconds
negative
remaining.
is that it does feel like you kind of lack the team fight, and that's something that the Arc Willow would give you. So I'm kind of looking for Virtus Pro to maybe pick up a couple of those heavy team fighting supports. Maybe not necessarily a Shaker, because that makes their lanes look weird, but something like that. And yeah, the Wyvern Banana too. Those are the greatest out of the 5.
Yeah, pretty much the best hope you're gonna have with like 0 economy, but big impact. So solid choices there. Will we get ourselves a Yapsor hero here, or do they want to just grab something from Fada? You'd imagine it'd be something for Yapsor, unless they're also thinking things like, okay, what are we gonna give mid one? Like, how does he handle this Broodmother?
10 seconds
how can we
remaining.
actually survive? I know Optic tried the Monkey King, which a lot of teams have done before.
5
in the past.
seconds
You
remaining.
Just get up into the stacks of your Jingu and then use your Boundless Strike to actually just kill all the spiders and everything. And then the other, you already mentioned, the other success we saw was the Tiny versus the Brood, but Virtus Pro have set themselves up very well in the draft by going for this Tiny first. So looked like they were coming in this one ready for the Broodmother.
And one of the other ones that we've seen, I think, occasionally is a Kunkka. It feels kind of weird to take it 3rd pick overall, but you also would imagine that Virtus Pro aren't necessarily going to take another core. Conceivably, they could, but it would be a little bit strange to pick all 3 of your cores going into the first 3 picks. But that's what Brood does. It makes things weird. So that's a possibility. I feel like Team Secret probably don't want to reveal mid ones hero this early, but if they feel like it's a good pick, then they might do it.
The other frustrating part about playing against Broodmother is that it doesn't really matter what sort of a matchup you go for, because the
Virtus Pros turn to
like, if the matchup is really bad and it's some hero that absolutely dumpsters the Broodmother, then Brood's just going to spend more time in the jungle, more time at the Ancients, and still get farmed, and then you're changing your team dynamic based off of a single hero on the enemy side for Virtus Pro. I do like this though. Big fan of the Earth Spirit here. And that's team fight. You know, we were thinking about team fight for Virtus Pro, but that is team fight in a single
10
hero
seconds remaining.
Yeah, this is great. This is the
Team
thing that we were
Secrets
gushing over
turn to
yesterday.
pick.
How
Admiral
cool it was to see
Kunkka.
it. Instead, it's going to be Virtus Pro to take the Kunkka. All right. All hands aboard as we are getting ready to go on a wild ride of a VP draft. And this could conceivably also be a position 4 hero.
We'll just pick all of the heroes that are okay versus Brood. We'll take every last one. Solid strategy here.
Do you think that Secret wanted it themselves?
10 seconds
Not
remaining.
necessarily. I don't think it'd be worth like picking it like that. I think it's just solid control element.
5
versus
seconds
Weaver.
remaining.
You have the big damage mitigation coming up from the Ghost Ship that's really nice against Earth Spirit.
Virtus
Whittles down anything you can do
Pros
with
turn
Magnetised.
to
Bristleback!
Alright, that's an interesting answer. A Secret classic. I know their coach, Sunby, loves Bristleback. He's big on the hero. He's always interested in trying to make it work, and Fata has also played in the past there too. So I think Fata or Ace could be on this, depending on which one wants to take this Weaver. Probably going to be an Ace Weaver, I would assume, in a Fata Bristleback. And we've already seen
10
several teams
seconds
switching up
remaining.
who's go mid when we run into this Broodmother, so we'll be likely
5
sending the Bristle
seconds
there.
remaining.
This is really cool. It still is somewhat synergistic with their draft. You talk about minus armor, vicious nasal goo, amazing for that, a ton of physical damage out there, and then you've also got that Earth Spirit to be the control factor. So yeah, this feels like a very measured response from Team Secret that doesn't necessarily dismantle what they were trying to do before, but it still has the answers for this Brood.
Yeah, they maybe they have enough mobility. I don't know. There's a lot of pressure right now, I would say, on the Earth Spirit in their draft, just like the only AoE sort of stuns, and you have to control up for this Weaver and this Bristleback, because Bristleback, he loves just like the rundown after a fight, you know.
Right.
If he could go the speed of a Bloodseeker, he would be very happy. That would make him like the best hero ever, but he can't. He's a little bit slow, so you definitely need a little bit of catch, a little bit of reach, as they say, you know, the cool kids. So some extra mobility. I tend to think of like Ember Spirit as a hero that can do that for you, and it is sort of a classic for Team Secret. Could theoretically be an option here for them.
Yeah,
Team
the last time these two
Secret's
teams
turn
met,
to
the
bat.
one game that Team Secret was able to win, they were playing an Ember Spirit. So could be something that they look towards. It's going to be a Bane. This is just, you know, what Solo does. It's going to do this until the end of time.
And I remember at the Super Major, Solo had the single greatest performance on Bane I have ever seen in my life. It would no one else. I've never seen a game where Nightmare was used to save
10
people
seconds
so many
remaining.
times, have such a absolutely massive impact. And you got to watch
5 seconds remaining.
Because you think you're gonna hit someone with this nuke, and somehow he saves it every single time. You get yourself some cast range, the Aether Lens on top of it, and it feels like no matter where you are, if you try to initiate on someone, there's just this Nightmare.
Right. Well, and then also you've I mean, it's too many targets now for like a Linken's to be effective in a way. I feel like Weaver is this hero that doesn't want to get the single target lockdown. If you either break it with like Nightmare or whatever, then there's going to be an X follow-up potentially.
Yeah.
So Linken's, while it is definitely feels like it's going to be necessary because of the single target disables, they've also got Tiny in there. Like, Weaver could be running into some issues.
Yeah, this looks like a sick Tiny game at this point. And this was a first pick hero, which is really interesting, but now you can run this as an offlane for Pasha, and he can build into a Silver Edge, potentially, and have a way to deal with the Bristleback, have a way to initiate on top of that Weaver, blow him up. They could also just throw it onto someone else and go back from one of these more classic Pasha heroes, kind of like Team
Virtus Pros turn
like
to
Pango
ban
or something, but I tend to think it is going to be Pasha Tiny. I think it just looks like way too good of a game for it.
So often we talk about Virtus Pro being this team that is sort of going in for a lot of different, like they have one main hero that they need to play around. Is that Pasha this game, do you think, or maybe something we see soon?
Probably the Ramses Broodmother. In a sense, it's the Ramses Broodmother, like, because the whole game's kind of based around it. But in terms of like
10
space
seconds
around the
remaining.
Brood, then yeah, it's probably gonna be Pasha. He'll be on that Shadowblade Tiny. He's gonna be looking to make some fights going.
5 seconds remaining.
We're still just kind of waiting on this no one hero. I do think Secret are prepping for the Ember with the OD. Now, the other way is that they also lost to that OD in their last match at the Super Major. That was what ended up winning the game because the constant saves and the Astrals were being done by no one, so maybe they just got a good memory for that one. Plus, it can mess with the Bristleback during team fights, but I'd probably just ban Ember.
Virtus Pros turn to pick.
Sorry, VP, but Seeker, kind of similar too. Does give you that chase down potential. And Ember also has problems in the laning phase, so depending on what this last hero is, if they're just picking a third, like, pretty strong laner, then maybe they're just like, okay, go ahead, bring us the Ember.
Yeah, they feel like they can play against it, because I think that there was one of the games in those series they played against each other where they also were able to deal with it, and Ember feels like the type
10
of
seconds
hero that
remaining.
can sort of game plan around it and make your map movements more effective to
5
shut down the
seconds
Ember, more
remaining.
so than just the heroes you have.
Team Secrets turn to pick.
Mirana.
It's gonna be a Mirana.
Okay, just kind of like middle of the ground sort of hero, combos up very nicely with the Bane and the Kunkka. Very nice little kill trio going on here.
So either way, whether it's a core Kunkka or a core Mirana, I feel like this is going to be a great game for both of them because you got great setup with the Nightmare. Either Nightmare into Torn or Nightmare into Arrow.
10 seconds remaining.
Be a lot of damage and potentially a kill.
Yeah, I think it's definitely
Dragon Knight.
You may now select your heroes.
And Seeker go back for the DK, so very safe laning option. Something mid one has already played once this tournament, I believe. And it does give them someone else who can lane versus the Brood. So they've got two heroes now with the Bristle and the DK.
All right, well, game number 1 underway. It's the second day of the TI8 group stage. Secret versus Virtus Pro, and Secret really trying to get something going here. As we talked about right at the beginning of the broadcast, they're sitting 1-3. They lost 2-0 to VGJ Storm, and then they ended up losing a game to Serenity as well. And Virtus Pro looking to stay good as well themselves. I mean, they lost one game to Serenity. I don't think that they kind of wish that they would have gotten that one back, but it happens.
And it looks like with the pickups, they'll be mid one taking the Bristle, so I guess they're just less comfortable with the idea of switching roles, but they're assuming that the Bristleback has to go mid, so just hand it to mid one, and Fada's very familiar with Dragon Knight anyway, so it's just kind of whoever has to do that sort of a role in a game like this, and the Dragon Knight would have been the playmaker, right? He's the guy who probably has to go just blink into stunning to set up for fights, so it's probably better that you're more core, like anchor player, carry us the game is on the Bristleback, because this hero's going to want a lot of farm in this game.
Okay. So big things to watch out for in this game. I'm assuming, obviously, the pressure that Ramses is able to apply throughout the game. What is he able to get done? Oftentimes we talk about Broodmother being a falling off hero. Do you think that's the case in this game?
I don't think there's any major concerns heading later, right? Tiny and Mirana feels pretty good. I think as long as they just have their momentum going, where you're looking towards those early Roches, Ramses just loves to get this medallion going. I don't know if he's going to opt in towards more of his classic build, where he just goes for like the Mask of Madness and the BKB, or if he's more into this new strategy, where they have the medallion into the Diffuse Blade. Either way, he can either become a Spicy Broodmother or more objective-based. It looks like in their earlier game, he did opt for the Diffusal, so he's kind of into this new strat as well.
Okay.
And finish the game.
They're going to be hopping into this game number 1, and an early smoke out from Virtus Pro. as they are going to be trying to get down some wards and possibly find themselves a kill. Again, Nightmare setup so deadly if you're able to follow it, and they have all the heroes in the world to make it happen.
Yeah, you can see Ramsey's coming mid too, just getting his web down. Also, the other good part about running like that is that you can scare off if someone's smoked and trying to ward for your mid.
Thought there for a second that they're going to find mid one, but he does back out at the last second. Is able to escape the clutches of a solo Nightmare. Yeah, Roger doesn't look like he's going to be able to
30 seconds to battle.
Going down, as there was one placed in the
Your admiral is on board.
as well as another one up there to the top side. And that kind of an interesting ward there. Gives some really good vision just sneaking through those trees.
And lanes appear to be pretty much exactly what you'd expect. This Earth Spirit tends to come up into the off lane, try and get a kill with the Venge and the Weaver, and then one of the two will rotate down bottom with the DK, more than likely. I think it might end up being the Venge. It kind of
the battle begins.
They've now made that aggressive maneuver. They're going to scare both runes up top, but similarly now, they'll get to both runes for this pro.
Trade-off begins, and looks like Secret going to be bringing a couple of their supports up there to see if they can harass. As we do see mid lane, mid one just start to move over and get into position. So I'm not sure if maybe Yapsor and Puppy want to try and push back no one, but he's already under the tower, so he should be fine.
Yeah, perhaps hoping for a little bit of harass as he came through the lane of the wave, but we're gonna attempt this instant kill.
I mean, if nothing else, no one is having a good time here.
Oh, Solo instantly towards the ward they head back there. It's gonna hurt them, and Yapsor will TP out.
Alright, back up, run away. Solo just hanging on to his tree as the wave of terror spam is going to continue. Now, this is a strong lane, particularly if you're just up against one person. Against two, I'm kind of curious to see if this is going to work.
Well, Shikuchi has all this value because you can pretty easily get along two heroes. Like, they have to split up a little bit there on Virtus Pro just to ensure that it's hard to hit and harass both heroes with it. But similarly with the Wave of Terror, you can also kind of hit that on two heroes as well. So there's a lot of value right now in terms of the mana to HP
Radiant
ratio.
structures are fortified.
Not too much regen. There's only one set of tangos there on Solo, and then a salve and only one tango left now for no one.
We already talked about the armor issues that no one is going to have on this tiny. He did bring a stick into lane, so that'll be a little bit better. As far as mid lane is concerned, 8-1, 9-1 now on Bristleback versus 5-1 in the Brood. Don't know if many of those were spiders, but nonetheless, mid one's going to have a fine time in this lane, it feels like.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to save other spiders. They're not worth that much anymore. It's like not easy, but you still don't want to be keeping them away for free, and Ramsey is currently losing quite a few of them.
Fair bit of blows, but with the stick, it shouldn't ever really go down unless there's some heavy misplays or a rotation in this one, I would imagine.
Yeah,
oh, you want some of this?
He would just have to get way too greedy, or if he tries to man up on the Bristle, and that count starts going, but you're already one of those situations would be how he goes.
Solo. These heroes, they're gonna throw out the magic missile, but a good out of toss, and then rather just toss to the tree, and they're gonna back out.
So just trading back and forth. Good thing there wasn't a bunch in this game, because give me some seriously low HP heroes throughout this laning stage. Bottom lane's been pretty quiet, very reserved play here so far. Fada just kind of tanking some damage, but now at level 2.5, so once he gets 3, he'll be feeling very safe. 2 points for the old Dragon Blood. And Yapsor is just getting levels. He's got the same amount of experience as his DK, and if you can get some free
invisibility,
like this, even though you're not getting kills, at least nothing bad's happening to your core. Like, just chuck an arrow like that, and Fada even body blocks it.
No one though. Finds himself Puppy, and
Has blood! Oh, let his nightmare never end!
Again down bomb, they're gonna go for another arrow.
It's a bit of damage, but the stun, it connects onto two of them now. Just gonna get the walk away. Bata still living.
Yeah, not long here. Oh, good play.
I mean, there's a lot of fun little things that you can do this matchup, right? Like pump fake the torrent, those types of things. But he didn't bite.
No, and despite all this spam, they don't have the stick yet. Yaps are probably going to pick it up now, although he definitely wants it first, so won't be able to quite get it. Then you know when the spam is real from the torrent.
Yeah. Well, and Ramsey's now just going to cut the creep wave back behind the tower. Realizes it's dangerous dealing with the Bristleback, although mid-one is going to help keep the pressure on this.
Well, what's he going to do? Does he want to farm 5?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's true. It's the way. He's kind of trying to like play both, where he's getting the experience with the tower and trying to harass the Broodmother. But this is what's so frustrating about this hero. Like, no matter what you do, she will just dodge you completely.
And up top, it's just been a bloodbath back and forth. I mean, not a whole lot of kills, but they're punching each other a whole heck of a lot. And still not a great chance for a kill as of yet. About 5 minutes in, though, we're getting close towards those first rounds of rounds. Go for a toss back, as they already have been able to find it, one round of it, and, well, just a runaway.
Yeah, pretty hard to secure any sort of kill right now. And the 5-minute bounty runes can be very important up here with that bottle on.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Play there. They're actually glyphing the wave because it's just delaying it further, right? Where it's like diving back to the tower, it's pushing back in the bounty runes. I'd love to see solo contest. I think, yeah, he's going to come up for this.
Quick movement forward. Obviously, with 2 points of Nightmare, he can secure this one, although Weaver going for the Sakuchi already. Again, going with the match. Possibly it's a lot of minus armor on his hero. They're still going to be able to get it. Just the strength of those nukes. They force them back.
Man, that was
the
so
prize is mine.
Just for this lane. That's what it looked like. But if you're glyphing like that, to force them back, they can't get the rune for the bottle. That just hurt Ace so much. Think about the investment he has, and this item is just worthless for him right now.
Yeah, that's terrible. I mean, and again, it's just the type of thing where it's really high-level play coming in from Virtus Pro. They know what it is that you're trying to get out of this duel, and it's not happening. Mid lane again, mid one. It's been able to force Ramses away, and he's right
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Going to miss. Chance catch, but
still just the one kill. This is definitely the quietest game we've cast so far, and yeah, not what I was expecting from Virtus Pro and Team Secret.
Don't worry, it's all going to pop off here in a second, for sure. Actually, Solo's going to rotate mid. I don't know what the goal is there.
In your dreams.
Just hang out. Make sure mid one can't just really push the tower. Sweet catapult experience. And Rune's going to end up being bought. Will be found here by Roger.
Ramses again going to cut this wave. Level 6 for him, has the soul capacity. Yeah, there's a lot of these spiders.
He just feeds them in the tower. He's like, free gold, thank you.
Hey, he's happy as a clam. He's just gonna dodge away that courier. But mid one, it's
Salamene smiles
I'd love
upon
to see eventually
me.
the Earth Spirit rotate, because I think DK can survive at least fairly well in this lane if the lane's pushed under the tower. But
I think the problem is over the Absolute too. Like, I don't think they're every one single stun.
I'm stricken.
They find themselves puppy yet again. Mid one able to pick up that kill. Even though there are bugs, there's damage from Sakuchi. It's hard to make something happen here against these heroes, although he can just try. We'll have another Sakuchi in a second, but Brain Sap.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Right now. Very efficient hero, the bit into Brain Saps. Trades, suddenly evolve his HP back, they're losing HP.
So CS so far, you can see it's kind of into the favor, I would say, of Virtus Pro a little bit more, just because the CS from the Bush stack isn't necessarily what it seems. He's still top net worth about 200, but I'd say that both teams fairly okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, on top, Ace.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Going in for this one, Sakuchi. This is
Weak sorcery.
Not so fast.
So long every time. And cooldown only 12 seconds right now.
That's a nice little. Unfortunately, it's three gold every single time he kills.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Back to tower though, so.
Okay.
All worth it in the end. Question is, what is Minimal going to be able to do in this one? He's building up straight for the Vanguard first. A classic versus any sort of a brood lineup. It's also fine versus just like the tiny.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Looks like he's not even sure if he's going to commit for it, honestly. He's a great Radiance game if you could get it. But most games are a great Radiance game if you can get it.
That's fair.
Smoked up Roger.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's not really a whole lot of popping to go on here. And
you fancy it now, do ya?
Good one, sort of pressure in this tower. Roger does have
Illusion.
2 points in the Torrent, 2 points in X, so they don't want to take time. They find out done. This little boy. This is the first Dragon Knight ulti though, and Fox is going to try to get some pressure on, but Ramses is rotating down, and now they don't have a creep wave. But
My timeline stands.
they find a kill on a Weaver. An observer to work right now. It's just actually happening all over the map.
It's Broodmother. This is why they can first phase it. Like, well, what can you pick that stops this, you know? It's just, he's not playing any of your heroes. They just have support showing up to the wave, catching it. Bristleback can just, like, solo push this tower unless he fully commits into the Vanguard, and then he can try and tank it up, like, infinitely. But then he's running into other risks because of the initiation range of something like this Kunkka. Very frustrating to deal with.
Right. Enzies, meanwhile, doesn't even necessarily have to take that tower because he's farming up the whole rest of the map to double in waves.
Yeah, Yapsor's coming up now, but he's still just level 4. He really needs that tome if he plans on making any sort of plays.
One just slowly lumbering along, trying to chase the Broodmother. It is happening.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Him around the map. But this is kind of just going to be the Enzi show for a little while. Does what he wants, eventually pushes the tower when there's rotations elsewhere. As we get close to this 10-minute mark, it looks like we might have that. Runs around bottom and shooting forward and stunned silence. They find themselves Pasha to leap away, get himself
a golden thread.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Looks like Pasha should be able to escape.
Yeah, he's able to get bottom.
Invisibility.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Bounty.
Bottom lane, mid one a little bit weaker than making the rotation.
Sounds hot for me.
Take him down. Catapult. They can do something else. Bottom lane. They find themselves another stun. The silence. No keeping away.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
There's gonna be an X. Solo. He's got another 3 that brings that.
So much pure damage.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Really hard to take
Radiant structures are fortified.
They might be able to do a trade over the Fata trying to run. He does not have enough mana.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They just drop him. Good girl, but it's where they needed it, and they kill him.
All right. Slightly acceptable top lane swap. Puppy trying to survive here. Oh, raindrops. Keeping him up. Now can he TP the next level play? There it is.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And while this is happening, mid one's trying to get some pressure on the tower, but it started to ramp up a little bit, and it feels like BP are rolling 3K in the lead as far as net worth goes.
Keep bringing the spiders on the Dire side. It's like Ramsey comes back over like, okay, nice initiation. Actually catches the roll despite the speed of the spider.
The spiders, the damage, he gets another round of it.
Takes me.
Keep up with the green all play there. There were agents that are at least on the stadium. Now it is going to be a little bit of return volley of action for this pro, but losing the spider hurts. They don't have both this time. It's going to be hard to kill, yeah. They're just doing this to secure a rune for no one. Who also has dagger now too. So he can definitely blow up this Weaver. Ace under 800 HP at the moment. Is not purchasing a whole lot of stats. Got 3 strength in that rate.
And look at how much the win probability shifts also. 70% after that kill on his mother.
Double damage!
Allies disappear.
Plus, he's feeling pretty confident in that chain script. He's mid though in the swap to try and keep him alive. He's still from a little bit further away.
Yes, X marks the spot.
Bristleback's retreat. It should at least, although they are bringing in another arrow. Not quite going to connect with that. They get the toss back though. Able to find him.
Is that more blood coming out?
Enough for every single hero on VP.
Yeah, Ramsey actually still has the defusal up too. They want to dive a little bit further, but they don't spot the right target. But I mean, that's not even their full arsenal. Like, there's no boat being used there. So
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So even after the Vanguard, now he needs to go into the Hood too. And this time we will. So we talked about the Weaver knocking Hood the other day when we were watching our Weaver game. So see how much survivability this helps Ace. And you pointed out during the draft just this idea of the Lincoln Sphere having quite a few targets to pop it. So not a very guaranteed way to take it.
Get their time, but now the Avatar shows up. He finds himself
rises with something.
I fail.
They managed to get a kill on the solo. The support's down.
Another put down.
I don't know if he's going to be able to make anything else happen here, though.
Did you see Solo? Did you see what he did that fight? Did you see him Nightmare and dodge that bench stun? This guy, he's ridiculous. I don't know how he does it. best Bane player that's ever lived for the team. You know, he goes down, helping them out. Very good swing from them. Just helping that Rana too. Make sure Pasha can try and catch up and become relevant in this one, as he looks to be building in towards
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So he set up Tiny here. Yeah, let's go. Oh, this Weaver, dude. No one, does he have the cooldowns? This Weaver shows up, he is
Whetstone.
Yeah, I think he has an inkling that something is going on.
This ward is like, oh,
he's coming for him, Abba. It's not quite there. Oh, jeez.
Dire are scanning. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They missed the combo a little bit off the
they
mark.
missed a whole lot of stuff right there. Even the dust didn't hit.
Dire's structures are
That is
fortified.
the most value ward that's
Radiant's
ever been placed
bottom
in the
tower
woods, but
is
it
under
doesn't
attack.
connect that time.
Goodness gracious. I don't know what happened. That went from the best to the worst very quickly. And they're going to end up losing the mid tower too, as they start pushing the bottom for an exchange, but...
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The
Radiant's
prize is
bottom
mine.
tower is under attack.
Another round of bounty runes secured. Pasha able to get both of those ones up there. So VP all around the map. They're getting
there on the bounty feed.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And they will now...
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Bottom. No one building into the Shadow Blade, as one would expect. The eventual Silver Red's just so much value this game versus DK and the Spec.
You know, a lot of times when you see this kill score, 4 to 10, a 4,000 net worth lead, it feels like it's like an insurmountable lead in this patch. But in this game, I do feel like Secret have a lot of the tools that they would need to take the fights, and it's not just like a foregone conclusion.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's a bit of a, it's like an out game where it's like, yeah, there's a net worth lead, but
Radiant
so it's
structures
like,
are
there should be
fortified.
kind of net worth lead thing going on. But in order for Secret to keep themselves in it, they just need to start using the power of this Dragonite, which you can see they're doing now. They're going to push down this tower, and then I want to see them use all this minus armor.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But it won't be a very easy Roche.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Everything on day one, but the stun comes in. All the spiders are showing up now as well.
Oh, that can't be good.
Is going to die.
Where if you have just like one defensive hero, I mean the swap of course would have saved it, but like just those little heals, they always feel so strong. Even like Bristleback, like you want them chasing where it's just like, oh we almost got the kill, oh we almost got the kill, and like you keep going deeper and deeper. But right there, like once they start the initiation on them, what slows them down? Nothing. It feels like nothing.
Miss on the avalanche, which does mean that Puppy will escape for the and with the rest of the heroes from VP showing up, Roger isn't even bothering to go after him, apparently.
Not so safe harbor, eh?
Tiny and...
To the deeps with you.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And a smoke now from Puppy being purchased, so... I think they're likely going to try and make a play around that road, but again, problems for it. They have the AoE from the Tiny, you have the Moonlight Shadow, you're going to have a Kunkka, and then on top of that, there's just this Brood Mother who, if they, like, let's say Secret try and go for Roche play and it's spotted by Virtus Pro, Ramses is just going to play that entire box at the bottom of the map and just secure all of that while they're trying to, like, posture around Roche, you know, and start forcing down tier 2s, even a little bit damage on the tier 3s, and those are the kind of things you'd have to worry about.
Yeah, it's not often thought of. Like, people tend to talk about the top side of the map because that's where Roche is. But because Roche is up there, it also opens up this entire other side of the map. That's what we saw Fnatic a lot leading up to this when they're trying to get back into the game. It sort of works the same way, even if you're in the lead, where you can apply that pressure there and then sort of pull the enemies to that side of the map.
Radiant are scanning.
18 minutes in, 5 to 12, and we'll see indeed where VP want to go. It's just continuing to be Ace, sort of farming in these somewhat dangerous areas away from the rest of his team. The rest of Secret make a move.
They've smoked up here. Fada has that Blink Dagger, but they don't have the most burst damage between heroes. Something like a Kunkka. This is a pretty nice dagger for them, but I wonder he's going to be out of here in time.
Yeah. He is just gone. Not often that you see the, I guess that you always see it pretty much on support Kunkka now, but the 6 armor talent, really good at level 10.
Yep, very action game like this. I don't think his right clicks are going to matter too much. Support Kunkka, so. No. Ace has finally made his decision on what he wants to go for. Vanish!
They do popped a Moonlight Shadow now. No one spotted Ace and knows he's going to be going over to the second camp here as well. And, well, Ace playing it safe. But they're there immediately.
My fates were woven from the first.
Oh, you came out and farmed this game for good measure.
Anyway, no one got off the time lapse there.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
They actually hit the area right away, but they don't have enough follow-up here, even with the Fiend's Grip, especially with the middle is kind of hoping they would lead up onto him there, and top was driven back here. Middle, maybe he can pull some fight. Yasser has a long.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He's going to keep you away, so a little late to the party. Yasser can't get there in time.
Yeah, not quite the communication there. Meanwhile, Ramsey has picked up a DKB.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And he's going to force them back to this tower.
Yeah, this is really bad. I mean, they keep on having to rotate so many heroes when they go together. And
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Half the map, this box for Ramses to farm away. Such a tough thing for him to do. And then, in the meantime, the rest of the heroes...
They have vision on Fada. They watch him walk right into that camp.
He just got
The prize is mine.
Oh, and they find the stone on it too. Also, look at the magnetize on it. No one chasing them. Save their life. One connects two. Are they going to get anybody?
Dire are scanning.
They got the hell there.
They got him hard.
8 knots and full ahead.
On that one. That's a net worth gain.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Pushing for the tier 3 tower. Dealing a good bit of damage here. And Secret just can't really get back into defense quickly enough before the towers are...
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Roger, and he put the torrent in the Roche pit, and that secured the fact that they knew that they didn't just instantly go to Roche, and that's why Ramsey started back. The reinforcements were coming.
So they do trying to take the and throw one of the web, which gives the extra because it's so also under a little bit of fire. They find the torrent out.
must be driven.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Simultaneously able to secure these little kills while making sure the brood gets away.
Absolutely. Just kind of feeding the body once again. And you now have Ramses up to 2k gold with a 10-second BKB. And Pasha eyeing one up for himself there, you can see.
They're really having a great time now. You take a look at sort of the way the net worth is looking. 8,000 gold lead for Virtus Pro, and that line is all going downhill at this point for Team Secret. And, you know, this is sort of what is so strong about VP. This is a second pick Broodmother, and they're still making it work like this.
Yeah, it feels like Secret just can't.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That didn't necessarily lose super hard, but I don't know how they try and get on this map and make something happen.
Thinking about mid lane. Roger here with the boat, with the torn, with the axe. Bristleback as no one shows up as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Will be killed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That was really close.
Yeah, supports came in very late there. So I think they either thought that he was 100% dead or he was going to get away, and then you start TVing in like 2 seconds late. Doesn't usually end up well. So Bella went to just
what are you hiding, Rashawn?
no chance they can contest. They can attempt to play maybe from the Absol, but at this point you're just throwing away some more gold. Very unlikely to sniping. And frankly, I don't think they even need the Aegis to go high ground. I think it was much more about Secret needing this Aegis to try and get back into this one.
Radiant's bottom tower has been denied.
So 22 minutes in, and then 10,000 gold lead.
Roshan has fallen to the ground.
The question, I mean, there is still a tier 1 tower and tier 2 top lane. Is it worth investing in taking those out, or do you just try and go for dominating the map and maybe high ground if you find some pickoffs?
I think that with the assassination potential they have between a Kunkka and a Tiny, that I would take care of those towers. Kunkka will get
Dash
here.
on the
wandering
rock.
out on his own under some vision from the radiant smoke. It looks like he saw the smoke, actually. They just pinged it, so he still had like some lingering vision going on there.
It sort of forces you back at the very least. And, well, it looks like Ramses is still farming up the jungle here.
Almost found him. Very close.
God, it's just so hard to deal with this Broodmother. Like, the free movement, the fact that it's not able to, you can still hide in the trees.
They're trying to start a full 5v5. Well, I guess it'd be 5v4, but they just
Denied!
there because they haven't really had that yet. So
Dire's structures are fortified.
Should he use this Crimson Guard?
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They smoke under provision, but they're still willing to take that fight. Just
Snag in your timeline.
Like little skirmishes, right? They never want to fight on even playing ground because they're 9k behind. So anytime that they can fight with
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, VP with the Aegis, and they're not really carrying it out. Secret is still
Radiant structures are fortified.
Pressure that's coming from us.
Oh, look, they're trying to kind of lure Pasha here by keeping this wave alive too. But he is double.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But they have an Earth Spirit. I
We die. Radiant are scanning.
My God.
All right, Secret turned it up, though.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
At least they're running it. Another smoke used as they're going to TP. They're anticipating somebody up in the top side. And actually, immediate TP over from Solo. But they will run.
Dire are scanning.
I just wanted a bounty rune. Run! I really like how they're just playing this like group up Dota.
Location.
Wants this bounty rune, he's gonna get out. Oh, but Tiny's on the chase.
That's for me.
He does have another back into the spider. Toss connects there. Well, yeah, so with 6 seconds left on he's not going to be able to escape that melee. Catch there.
I've killed dragons. Less.
Suddenly it's only 16 to 10. Kills starting to even up a bit here. Only a 5k lead. Dropping like flies inside of Virtus Pro, and now they're the ones who are pressing forward into a 4v4 scenario, but buyback is available for the Earth Spirit, and he will certainly use it if the fight comes anywhere near he can TP to. Not an expensive thing to spend.
I mean, how many teams are going to make that call, though, that like, all right, VP, they just got the Aegis, let's run at them. You know, I guess that it's sort of like the meta game that is evolving before where we say, okay, we don't want to go in 5-man right away as soon as we get the Aegis because teams aren't going to want to fight us, so we're going to spread out and farm. And when that happens, now it's sort of the second answer in the game theory that is Aegis, where, okay, let's just run at them because they're all going to be spread out and farming.
Sure, but I'm not giving that to the passion.
Fair enough.
I had less problems with the first two. Well, Secret able to leave their base, still holding on to the tier 2. They did lose that tier 1 in the top lane, so starting to lose some of their territory that does remain, but for now they can still control the Ancients.
Oh, Ramsey's getting towards a butterfly after the BKB Diffusal Blade. Be quite difficult to deal with. Nice bit of armor and damage, of course, that evasion.
Oh, okay, here we go. So they have the Silver Edge ready, but they also have the Sentry down. Looking for that stop onto the no one Tiny.
This is so good. If they can sort this out and fade out movement, but no one realizes.
Yes.
They get a nice 1-2. The boat's coming through afterwards. The damage mitigation is low. It's on the problems that they were running into before. This Magnetize is doing a good bit of damage. And everyone is still alive.
Welcome back.
They saved the Bean Script. They were able to stun on this Bean Script. There's only so much that you can take.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
That was solo crack on the whip, I think, on that last couple.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
We just need a 5-man.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
The only thing that's going to stop them is that tier 2 tower in the top lane.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks has Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
But he has not been having a very easy time with that. He gets burst. They have a ton of bursts, there's no question. So they've skilled very well. You know, pick the right heroes here for the side. Virtus Pro, but Ace is just getting caught over and over again.
And now, what was just a couple of minutes ago, a 5,000 gold lead is ballooned up to 16,000. Also getting close to some of those bigger talents on a couple of these heroes. Very, very bleak outlook for Team Secret at the point in the game.
Yeah, they did a great job in those movements across map for sure. Like, they spotted their moment, they knew that they had to play very aggressive, try and get back in this game, and they found it. And then
Illusion
plays that panned out for them, and then this play in the mid lane was also a little bit risky, right? This whole idea of like putting down the sentry and creating this bait, and Virtus just had the great idea of just jumping off to the side because they had that vision down there. They saw the Dragon Knight, they initiate on him first, and even though because he went for the blink from no, he wasn't able to actually use the Silver Edge debuff on the DK, it didn't matter because they were able to just like focus all their attention, and the rest of Secret split up too much to actually have a good team fight, and then that's suddenly your game's just over.
This is such a hard position to be in, but VP on the other side, you know, it starts to beg the question, not necessarily if this game is over, but they're in a position where they could probably win. Do you need to think about banning out that Broodmother first phase? I mean...
Yes, definitely. This is what they're proving. They're saying, if you're not going to ban it, we're going to pick it every game. Until
the prize is mine.
I don't think this is going to be one of those losses.
30 minutes in now, and Bristleback does have a Radiance. He's been able to farm up to that, as well as the Crimson Guard and the Hooded Defiance. So some signs of life, at least in a small way, for Team Secret. Also picking up the Spirit Vessel for Earth Spirit. It does feel like they have some avenues to sort of fight, but being down 2 racks is just so difficult to deal with, particularly against Broodmother.
Yeah, it's just, leave the base. The pressure's always there. Can never disappear from it. Mid one. If only they had just won, even if they didn't win one fight, if they had just like kind of stayed on the even footing by the time he got the Radiance, because
Dire are scanning.
This was a hero that was sitting on 4K gold, completely outspent, right? Yeah. He had not changed his actual itemization entire while trying to build up his Radiance, and they lose the fight where they're 400 or so gold away from it.
It's crazy. Like, that makes such a difference in these engagements, because how many times did we see him just barely about to live, just barely able to walk away, not walk away in that case, and because of that, it ends up falling apart. It's 4 heroes running down the top lane, and Broodmother, again, how many heroes can you do this with, where you just sort of sit away from the rest of your team, and it's perfectly fine, because you got Spider's Vision, and you're also just incredibly hard to kill in the first place.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And the Avenge and the Earth Spirit,
Radiant are scanning.
Scout out and catch that Brood.
Monster
VP showing no mercy in this game.
Over there. It's just gonna be one, and then the swap. Like, oh no.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Showing off in this one. He's actually had one of the better performances of the Virtus Pro Second. 2-1 and 16. Of course, no one still remains as the only one of those who's not.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
That tree grab talent too. He's just going to be pounding away at this tower. It's so hard to deal with. Yeah, no one has that. Just the Radiance going to be thrown around. They reapply the Magnetize. No one's just going to TP back home. Still, it's like word is this is maybe a little bit too hard. It's going to be a big combo. He just gets
Triple kill!
Emphatic fashion. VP, take it.
Virtus Pro victory.
Yeah, you counter pick it. She just ignores. Just runs away. She farms down at your tier 2s, in between your tier 2 and your tier 3. And what are you gonna do? You can't just ignore the wave coming through. You can't just chase her around in circles. She'll just run over a cliff.
And then go farm the jungle. And it did feel like, you know, mid one was trying to chase her around the map a little bit and get into a bit of a position where, at the very least, he could take away some of those spiders. He had the highest CS for longest time in the world and was sitting top of the net worth, but it just didn't end up mattering.
Yeah, it's so much map presence in this Broodmother. Like, but there's kind of this reason why teams just can't all pick it, right? Like, it's not the easiest hero to play around, and you need very specific other heroes on your other lanes, and you need 4 heroes that can kind of like play on their own at certain points in the game, and we had that, and Virtus.pro did an excellent job of that. So much vision being dropped down too, not just from the spiders, but from like Solo running around and slapping down some wards. They're able to know exactly where Ramsey should be, where they should be. They're watching these movements from Team Secret, and although they had some great kind of like guerrilla warfare almost from Team Secret, they weren't quite able to battle themselves out of game number 1, but it is just that. It's only game number 1.
That's right, and we're going to be hopping into game number 2 right after this, everybody. Day 2 of the International 8 group stages. Stick around because we'll be right back